All right, this just in. So just moments ago, discussions around the civilian-military relationship in Nigeria have reached a peak, particularly amid the rising violence from criminal gangs, including terrorists, bandits, and kidnappers. Now, despite these ongoing challenges, there have been significant efforts to bolster civil-military relations, with the Nigerian military praised for their enhanced compliance with human rights standards during counter-insurgency operations. During the Nigerian military's quarterly media chat on civil-military cooperation, the chair and editor-in-chief of the ARISE THISDAY global media group, Prince Nduka, Obaigbena, CEO, and served as the special guest of honor addressing these important issues.
Well, thank you very much. The Chief of Army Staff as represented, the generals and commanders of several units here present, the head of the military and civilian collaboration task force, I salute you all. My last momentous encounter with the Nigerian Army was as a guest of the security group headed by Colonel Omenka of the Department of Military Intelligence. I remember this day had made some publications against the Abacha government, and were invited. And I was interrogated by 5 generals with guns on the table. After the interrogation, the report or the tape was asked for by General Abacha, and they did it a second or third time. I later went on exile. On my return from exile, in my house, I just heard knocks in my kitchen. And I saw my then friend, still my brother, Deboye Shonekon. And he said, please, I have a friend to see you, who was crawling behind my kitchen, General Omenka. Say, Nduka, please help me. Bamaye and co want to kill me. Say, General Omenka, if you had killed the media, will you come to us for help today? However, we assisted him as the media. So what I'm saying is, the media is your friend. The media is there to protect everybody. So those who find themselves in power and feel they can kill the media, when they leave power, they will need the media. The media is a friend of the armed forces of the people of Nigeria. And the media will continue to work with the armed forces of the people of Nigeria. I must say that given the challenges that we face as a nation and we face as Africans, with what is happening in Sudan, where the military have turned against himself, with what is happening in Ethiopia, Somalia, Egypt, and you name it, with what is happening in Central African Republic, DRC, Rwanda, with Angola and all that in the mix, with what is happening in Mozambique, and with what is happening in Libya or North Africa, and what is happening with our neighbors in Niger, Burkina Faso, Guinea, and the rest, we must say that the Nigerian armed forces have done pretty well. Peace is very necessary for development. Our soldiers sacrifice their lives every day to keep us safe. We should not take it for granted. We should not take it for granted, and we should work with them. So before I continue, I want us to stand up and salute the Nigerian Armed Forces. Hip, hip, hip. Hip, hip, hip. Hip, hip, hip. Thank you very much for sacrificing yourselves for Nigeria. But you have to do more. Stop getting involved with arresting protesters, arrest kidnappers. Good governance will stop protests, but kidnappers have to face the wrath of the law. Stop getting involved with protecting electoral riggers. We need proper elections for governments to be held accountable. We have to ensure that our armed forces are properly funded. I call for at least 25% of our national budget for national security and the armed forces. And that budget will include technology. The world we face today, we have a national satellite company, we have all sorts of agencies in science and technology. Are they working with the armed forces? Have we integrated our satellite capabilities with our war in the Northeast or the Northwest? Do we know and monitor bandits in Kaduna? We spend so much money on national security. We spend so much money on satellite technology. We spend so much money across the board. We have to look at national security as a whole of government approach. Have the entire infrastructure, tech infrastructure, combined with the army. And the army has to also produce its own weapons. We used to have a vibrant defense industry. Is it still on? Why are we importing bullets? Why are we importing arms, AK-47 and the like? So we have to integrate our whole defense infrastructure, which are technology infrastructure, to keep us safe and protect Nigeria from the new world order. Nobody knows what's going to happen with crisis in the Middle East, crisis in Ukraine, a possibility of a Trump presidency. Are we ready? Are we ready to keep our peace and get ourselves going? So those are some of the stuff for the armed forces. And if I say we need 25% for the armed forces national security, then we also need another 25% for education, especially in the north, where we have to get our people educated. And another 27%, another 25% for health and poverty. We have to support the most vulnerable in our midst. And then we have to reduce taxes across the board. Put people's money in their hands. They will grow their own food. They will find their own transport. And they will sort themselves out. So that is what I have here to say, other than to continue to encourage the engagement between the military and the armed forces, and to say that 30 years after Omenka's experience, our armed forces has improved tremendously. Thank you very much.